Ah, so they thought they could break you, huh? Thought every trap, every challenge, every little game they set up would stop you in your tracks. But here you are, smiling, standing taller, moving through chaos like it's nothing. Every test they threw, every little obstacle. You didn't just survive it. You made it look effortless. They didn't see it coming, did they? All that planning, all that control, all that expectation gone. Every move they tried to make against you just bounced off, leaving them blind, confused, powerless, while you just keep playing, just keep winning. They thought they knew you. They sized you up, measured you, tried to put you in a box they could understand, a cage they could control. Oh, how wrong they were. You see, the problem with people like them is that they always assume weakness is visible, that struggle leaves a mark, that fear can be read like an open book. But you are the punchline they never saw coming. Every glance they cast, every whisper behind your back, every sneer of superiority, they believed it mattered. They believed their judgment held weight. And yet, here you are, slipping through their fingers with a grin that knows exactly what they don't. That power isn't something you ask for. It isn't something they can grant you. And it sure as hell isn't something they can take away. They underestimated your strength because they measure the world in ordinary ways. They look for sweat, for trembling hands, for panic in the eyes. And they forget. The strongest ones are often the calmest, the ones who laugh in the face of the storm. You walk into every room like a shadow they can't grasp, moving, shifting, unshakable, knowing that the rules they set don't apply to you. You don't just survive the weight they place on your shoulders. You bend it, twist it, and make it dance in your favor. Every obstacle they think will break you, every trap set to derail your path, becomes just another step, another turn, another performance where you steal the scene, without them ever realizing they're watching a master at work. They underestimate you, because they don't understand chaos, because they fear what they can't predict, and they certainly can't imagine the fire that burns quietly beneath your calm exterior. And as they scramble, as they fumble trying to make sense of your moves, you sit back and watch it unfold like the beautiful, twisted game it was always meant to be. Every challenge they threw at you was supposed to shake you, to bend you, to break you down into pieces small enough for them to control. But you had other plans. Every trap, every calculated test, every sneaky little setup was nothing more than a stage for you to perform on. And oh, did you perform? They thought strength was about brute force, about resistance, about gritting teeth and grinding through pain. But strength, true strength, is an art. It's about seeing the storm coming and dancing in it, laughing while the winds howl and the world tries to pin you down. Every obstacle, every impossible challenge they presented, you turned into a mirror reflecting their own weaknesses back at them. They expected you to falter. They expected hesitation, uncertainty, and fear. They expected you to be just another player in the game they rigged, but you were never a player. You were the script, the director, the chaos they never wrote into their neat little plan. And isn't that just delicious? Watching them scramble, trying to make sense of your moves, when in reality you weren't even playing by their rules. You bend reality to your rhythm, turning confusion into opportunity, doubt into fuel. Every challenge became a playground, every difficulty a canvas for your brilliance. You don't stumble, you glide. You don't struggle, you maneuver. You don't simply endure, you dominate. They underestimate the beauty of someone who treats every hurdle not as a punishment, but as a toy, something to toss, flip, and manipulate until it serves your purpose. And as they watch, mouths open, eyes wide with disbelief, you know they'll never understand the calm under your storm, the laughter behind your gaze. Every challenge they thought would crush you only highlights the mastery with which you navigate the chaos. Every failure they expected of you becomes a triumph they can't even comprehend. You transform the very energy meant to trap you into a force that propels you forward. Faster, sharper, more untouchable. They believed strength was a contest they could measure, a force they could contain, but you redefine it with every step, every choice, every effortless movement through their web of tests. You are not only surviving, you are orchestrating, choreographing, and owning every challenge. Bending it to your will, making it look easy, making it look inevitable, making it look like it was always yours to command. Effortless victory. That's the cruelest trick you can play on them, isn't it? They built mountains, they set traps, they sharpened their knives and polished their rules, thinking that every obstacle, every test, every tiny little push against you would matter. And yet, you move through it all like smoke slipping through their fingers. They don't see the strategy, the timing, the rhythm behind your every action. They only see the result, and that result terrifies them because it's effortless.
Oh, how they struggle to understand it!
They think effort must be visible, that hard work must look like sweat on the brow, strain in the muscles, panic in the eyes. But you've mastered the art of quiet domination. Every move you make seems casual, as if nothing at all matters, and that's where the real power lies. Because while they're sweating, biting nails, counting steps, calculating odds, you're already 10 steps ahead, smiling at the absurdity of their calculations. They built a maze thinking you'd get lost, thinking you'd stumble, thinking you'd falter. But every turn they thought would trap you, every dead end they imagined. You navigated with a grace they can't even name. It's not luck, it's not coincidence, it's not charm. It's pure, unshakable control. Effortless victory is the message you send, louder than any words, sharper than any weapon. Every challenge they thought could touch you, every attempt to pin you down, every expectation they held up like a hammer, they fall apart under the weight of your indifference. Because when victory is effortless, it's not just a win, it's a performance, a revelation, a mirror held up to their own impotence. They scramble to understand why, to find a flaw, a crack in your armor, a mistake in your timing, but there is none, because every moment, every step, every breath has been calculated in a way they cannot see, cannot predict, cannot even dream of. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? They think control is theirs, that the outcome is theirs to dictate. But you rewrite the story with a flick of your hand. You turn the tables without lifting a finger, without showing strain, without letting them glimpse the machinery of your mind. Effortless. That's the word that burns in their thoughts while you walk past, untouched, untouchable, inevitable. Every victory, every success, every test passed without a sweat is a messagey. Control is an illusion. Power is in the unseen. Strength is in the calm while the world trembles. They try to dissect it, to analyze, to understand how it's possible, but they fail, and in that failure, you thrive. Effortless victory is not just an outcome. It's a performance art, a psychological weapon, a dark little secret you carry with a grin they'll never see coming. Chaos bends to your control. That's the truth they can't face, the reality they refuse to acknowledge because it terrifies them. They think the world is orderly, predictable, controllable. Every test, every obstacle, every little trap they set up, they believe the storm could be managed, that confusion could be tamed, that disorder could be restrained. But you are the storm's favorite child. You don't fight chaos, you dance with it, you laugh at it, you shape it. Every situation that should have rattled you, every curveball that should have thrown you off balance, you turn into an opportunity, a toy, a tool. They scramble, desperate to make sense of the mess they created, but you are already 10 moves ahead, twisting the rules, bending the lines, shifting the angles, making the world itself perform at your whim. And isn't it delicious? Watching them claw at the edges, trying to impose logic where there is none, trying to find stability where you've already made none exist. They think strength lies in resistance, But real power lies in manipulation, in understanding that chaos is not the enemy. It's the playground. You take their fear, their confusion, their disbelief, and you mold it. You turn it into something that sings to your advantage. Every trap they designed to ensnare you becomes a bridge. Every expectation they held over you becomes a ladder. Every doubt they planted becomes fuel for your ascent. They underestimate the beauty of someone who doesn't just survive turmoil, but owns it, dances in it, molds it, shapes it into something spectacular. While they panic, while they lose themselves in the disorder, you are orchestrating it, conducting it, making every random event, every unpredictable moment, every chaotic whisper of the world bow to your will. They cannot see it because they measure life in straight lines, in predictable cause and effect, in rules that they themselves invented to feel safe. But you know the truth. The world is messy, wild, untamed, and trying to control it is a joke. The real skill is in embracing it, in moving within it like a shadow, like smoke, like a thought they cannot hold on to. Every glance they cast your way, every attempt to impose order, every desperate calculation, they fail, and their failure is the stage for your performance. Chaos is not a problem for you. It is your signature, your tool, your weapon. Every unexpected twist, every sudden shift, every little catastrophe they tried to use against you, you harness, you channel, you dominate, making it work in ways they cannot even imagine. They believed control was theirs, but control has a new name now, and it walks calm, deliberate, untouchable in the midst of their confusion, smiling at the absurdity of their impotent struggle. They will never understand how effortlessly you bend the storm to your will, how you turn randomness into rhythm, how you make the unpredictable predictable, predictable for you, terrifyingly unpredictable for them. You don't just survive chaos, you are the reason it exists, the reason it moves, the reason it dances, and the world itself becomes your playground, while they flail in disbelief, scrambling to grasp something they will never touch, something they will never control. Their plans backfired spectacularly, and oh, how sweet it is to watch. Every carefully laid trap, every meticulously calculated move, every little game they thought would ensnare you, collapsed under the weight of their own arrogance. They spent hours, days, months, imagining how they could bend you to their will, how they could make you stumble, how they could strip you of dignity, of power, of control. And yet, here you are, standing in the wreckage of their schemes with a grin that tells the story they'll never hear. They built towers of expectation, walls of rules, mazes of obstacles, and they assumed you would get lost, assumed you would break, assumed you would crumble. But every time they struck, every time they pushed, every time they tried to manipulate the pieces moved themselves around you instead. Their efforts didn't just fail, they exploded spectacularly, beautifully, in ways they couldn't have imagined. It's the ultimate irony. The energy they poured into trying to trap you became the fuel for your ascent. They wanted control, they wanted certainty, they wanted victory, and all they got was chaos. Your chaos, your playground, your triumph. They don't see it coming, because they never expected someone to be smarter than their own rules, more fluid than their calculations, more untouchable than their projections. You turn their schemes inside out, twist them into laughter, flip them into advantage, and every single time, they are left staring at the ruins, mouths open, eyes wide, hearts racing with a panic they cannot contain. They never thought the world could move this way, that their own weapons could be wielded against them, without a single visible effort, without a single sign of strain. And the beauty of it is that it's invisible to them. They can't see the planning behind the calm, the strategy behind the smiles, the timing behind the movement. They are trapped in the cage of their own expectation, while you stroll through it like a ghost, untouchable, untamed, unstoppable. Every failure they intended for you becomes your advantage. Every attempt to dictate the outcome becomes a stage for your performance. Every calculation they made to corner you becomes part of the trap that ensnares them instead. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The irony, the reversal, the delicious twist of watching control slip through their fingers while you glide, effortless, flawless, untouchable. They underestimated the beauty of someone who doesn't just survive plans but bends them, reshapes them, and uses them to rise higher than they ever intended for you to go. And while they panic, while they scramble, while they curse their own hubris, you move forward, calm, deliberate, untouchable, knowing that the spectacular collapse of their schemes is your signature, your mark, your proof that you are the one who dictates the rules, not them, and that every time they thought they had you cornered, they were really cornering themselves, setting the stage for a performance only you could deliver. You thrive where others fail, and that's the part they can't stomach. They love to watch the world in neat little lines, in simple equations, in comfortable patterns where every cause has a predictable effect, where every player obeys the rules they thought they wrote. But you are not a player in their game. You are the storm they forgot to account for, the glitch in their perfect system, the twist in a story they thought was already finished. Every place they expected weakness, every scenario where they predicted struggle, you flourished. While others crumble under pressure, while others freeze in the spotlight, you move with a rhythm they cannot see, a timing they cannot anticipate, a calm that mocks their frantic calculations. They set traps thinking everyone stumbles, thinking everyone falls, thinking everyone bends. But you bend the rules instead. You see opportunity where they see danger, a path where they see a dead end, a joke where they see despair. And the thrill of it, the delicious cruelty of thriving in the exact spots they thought would be your downfall. It's intoxicating. They try to measure you, to quantify you, to predict you, but you are a paradox, a contradiction, a beautiful chaos that can't be captured or contained. Every failure they expect becomes your playground. Every fear they imagine becomes fuel. Every obstacle they thought would stop you is just another step on the path they never saw. And they watch, helpless, scrambling to understand, but they can't, because you are not operating in their reality. You are in your own theater, your own rhythm, your own rules, your own game. Every glance they cast your way, every whisper behind your back, every frantic attempt to control you, falls apart under the weight of your mastery. You thrive not because life is easy, not because the path is straight, but because you see the patterns they can't, because you move in ways they never conceived, because you turn pressure into pleasure, chaos into art, fear into fuel. And isn't that the greatest trick of all? They expect struggle, they anticipate defeat, they hunger for compliance, and instead, you laugh at the absurdity of it all. You thrive where others fail, because failure is just a shadow they cast in your direction, and you walk through it like sunlight, bending, twisting, reshaping everything to your advantage. Every challenge, every obstacle, every test is an opportunity they don't even realize they gave you. A stage on which you perform, effortless, untouchable, untamed. While they falter, while they panic, while they crumble, you are dancing, smiling, moving, thriving, taking what they imagined would be your end and turning it into the very proof of your untouchable strength. They never saw it coming, and that's what makes it all the more beautiful, thriving in the exact moments they expected failure, turning expectation into illusion, turning despair into power, and leaving them scrambling in the ruins of their own assumptions. While you move forward, unstoppable, inevitable, unstoppable. Power isn't given. It's claimed, and that's the secret they will never understand. They sit there, comfortable in their illusions, thinking that rules, titles, approval, and agreement are what make someone strong, what gives someone authority, what carves their name into the world. But you know better. You know that power is not a gift they can hand out, that it isn't something they can bless or withhold, that it certainly isn't something that waits politely for recognition. Power is taken, snatched from the jaws of expectation, wrested from the chaos, stolen in the moments no one notices, in the cracks no one dares to see. Every challenge, every test, every situation they think is designed to contain you or diminish you. Those are the very opportunities to seize it. They think they control the narrative, that the stage belongs to them, that the script is theirs to write. But you rewrite it in real time, twisting every scene, flipping every line, taking their assumptions and turning them into stepping stones. And oh, the beauty of it, the sheer, intoxicating delight of taking what they thought was theirs and making it yours. They measure power in appearances, in compliance, in fear, in submission, but you measure it in action, in audacity, in the ability to move where others hesitate, to act where others freeze, to take where others wait. Every hesitation, every doubt, every little shred of hesitation that shackles the timid, it has no hold over you. You walk through expectation like a ghost, unseen, unbound, untouchable, claiming what is yours by sheer will, by sharpness, by daring, by the art of knowing that no one gives power willingly. They set up rules, thinking rules can contain a force like yours, thinking a framework can stop someone who refuses to be stopped, thinking expectation can weigh heavier than audacity. And yet, with every calculated step, every subtle movement, every invisible hand guiding the chaos around you, you claim what is yours, folding disorder, fear, and hesitation into the architecture of your own ascension. It's not about luck. It's not about charm. It's not about waiting for someone to notice your worth. It's about taking it with a smile while they scramble to understand how it happened. They don't see the strategy. They don't see the timing. They don't see the audacity behind every seemingly effortless motion. And that's exactly how it works. Power is invisible until it strikes. It's a whisper before a roar. It's a shadow in plain sight. And that's the lesson you deliver without a word, without permission, without apology, that the world belongs not to those who ask, not to those who wait, not to those who bow, but to those who take, those who claim, those who bend the rules of reality itself to fit their will. Every plan they set against you, every expectation they hold over you, every barrier they built thinking it would contain you, it all becomes irrelevant in the face of someone who doesn't ask, doesn't plead, doesn't negotiate. You move, you act, you take, you claim, and in that motion, the world becomes yours in ways they can't understand, ways they can't predict, ways they will never control. And while they scramble to maintain a grip on what they thought was theirs, you are already several steps ahead, several moves into your own game, several victories into your own reign, claiming what no one can give because no one truly owns it, but you, bending reality, bending expectation, bending fear itself to announce, without question, that power is not found. It is seized.